Around Australia, coastal erosion is eating away at a life of surf and sand.
All of our infrastructure, everything we own is on a coastline. Why wouldn't we be protecting that?
Taking your kids to the beach, we just can't do it. Most of the beach accesses are closed. You can't even get to it.
In the beachside suburb of Stockton in Newcastle, weary residents have watched as the waves have claimed their beach bit by bit, but none thought they'd see the day when the first building would have to be torn down.
Never even would cross your mind that the daycare centre was washing into the sea and that, you know, within a fortnight it would just be completely knocked down.
Families received a rude shock in September when Stockton's only childcare centre suddenly closed.
Then we had that phone call saying, come and get your child. The daycare centre's been closed. It's no longer safe. It was scary. We just had to go and grab our kids, get out of there.
Not much stands between the waves and several of Stockton's public buildings. The surf club and the caravan park are feared the next to go. And for these beachfront homes, there's only the road and a rock wall.
I mean, you've got this $3.5 million house, another $3 million home sitting within sort of 15 metres of the ocean. All these houses here are in jeopardy. So it's really quite scary.
Lucas GRESHAM is a former competitive surfer and real estate agent. He's a fifth-generation Stockton resident and has launched a campaign to save the beach.
Once a wave hits the wall, it definitely sends like a bit of a tremor or something through the earth, and then my house shakes. If they don't do something, it'll be catastrophic. This suburb will collapse.
Around Australia, the problem is forcing authorities to act, including at Collaroy on Sydney's northern beaches, washed away by a storm in 2016. Nationally, 39,000 buildings within 100 metres of the coastline are susceptible to erosion. Along Western Australia's coast, 55 locations have been identified as erosion hotspots, some under imminent threat. One of them is Port Beach, in the stunning waters off Fremantle.
Really just is relentless and it's powerful. And, you know, anyone who takes the ocean for granted learns that they can't do that in the longer term.
The Polar Bears swimming group has been coming here for years, and they've witnessed their beloved beach dwindle.
I've been coming here for about the last 25 years, and we used to have a very big expanse of sand, and we don't have that anymore, and that's very sad.
Instead of staying hills, there's just rocks.
This year, a storm surge threatened buildings on the edge of the dunes.
We saw the first real wave of literally hitting the sand dunes here, and they wiped out half the sand dunes almost overnight. It's a clear and present danger. It's a very real threat to the business.
A West Australian government report has recommended drastic action, relocate whole buildings over time.
If you want something that's going to be permanent or longer term, it's got to be a real commitment from government. The local government can't handle it. It's got to be either funded out of state or federal funds.
For restaurant owner Ian Hutchinson, moving is not an option. But if he stays, he's still high and dry, with no insurance to cover coastal erosion.
We consider it to be too great a risk to insure you against. But officially, there's been, obviously, they don't say that sort of thing. They just said, we've removed your cover. We've removed the policy, it's not available to you.
Back in Stockton, residents have now sought legal advice about taking the New South Wales government to court over what they say is a failure to act.
People are starting to feel like we've just been forgotten about, let down or ignored. What we're fighting for isn't the beach, it's the culture and the identity of Stockton.
It's clear that any sea level rise in the future may be devastating for the beach.
We're looking at least sea level rises of tens of centimetres over the next decades. Sea level rise only makes the erosion issue worse.
In the meantime, those who live by the beach will continue to endure what they say are short-term fixes.
Yes, we can sustain living on the coast. We have the technology to support it and to sustain it, but we're not using it.
We shouldn't move from the coast?
No way.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.